Do you know any Joker quotes?
Why so serious?
No, like from the movie. The recent movie.
Treat me like trash. Treat me like trash.
Well, there's our intro. Hey guys, I'm Greg. This is Aaron Alexander.
Heyo.
Great friend of mine. We always talk about Marvel and DC stuff. Have you seen the channel Looper before?
I've looped.
Oh.
I've had some loop in my life.
We're gonna watch. The Batman fans already know who they want as the next Joker. Apparently they do. We're Batman fans. Yeah, they nailed it.
I'm a Batman.
They know what we all want.
Every single one of us.
Every single one of us.
Same
want
thing.
the one person.
Because if anybody knows anything, the internet is unified.
Yes. Let's watch whatever this pick is. We'll see if we agree, and then we'll share our thoughts too.
Share along.
Bat fans are quickly forming a consensus opinion about who they would like to see playing the next clown prince of crime. The roster of villains for the upcoming The Batman may already be set, but it seems only a matter of time before the next cinematic incarnation of the Joker arrives to vex Robert Pattinson's Dark Knight. The fan-favorite choice for the role, Willem Dafoe, who co-starred with Pattinson in last year's Robert Eggers-directed psychological horror flick, The Lighthouse.
His coral tongue trident screeches banshee-like in the tempest and plunges back through your gullet.
Now, it's obvious that fans have no say in casting Hollywood productions, and you never know, the Batman just might...
The reanimated Sonic.
Thereby failing to even a sequel. Having said that, we're going to go ahead and file this fan casting under W for why the hell didn't we think of that? Because yeah, now that the notion of Dafoe as the Joker is out there, it certainly seems like the definition of a no-brainer. The veteran actor is possessed of a wiry physicality, which is perfect for the role. His facial structure and toothy grin are also custom-made for Jokerdom, as evidenced by some twisted fan art courtesy of Instagram user, the Sith Lord Joker. His Lighthouse demonstrated in one fell swoop that he has incredible
Look at those teeth.
Pattinson, and also that his skill at portraying wild-eyed craziness
don't want him at my birthday
has
party.
in no way diminished over the years. Since up in a half, he already has experience filling the shoes of an iconic supervillain. We'll get into that in a bit. Fans on Twitter have been psyching themselves up to see Willem play Dafoe of Pattinson's Batman. See what we
see
do
what
there?
you did
Ever
there.
since The
It would
Lighthouse
be
dropped last
actually
October,
pretty-
the flick is
okay,
essentially
I
a
got
two-man
thoughts.
stage production with Dafoe and Pattinson continually one-upping each other in the crazy department, and the two actors' intense chemistry had light bulbs popping up
just
over
got
the heads
one
of Bat
problem
fans
with
far
it.
and wide. Twitter
I think it'd be
user
good.
Craven set the scene for the idea, writing, Willem Dafoe was Joker in a post-credit scene of the Batman. Just imagine. Other users asserted that the Joker was nothing less than a
That'd be pretty awesome.
shocked that such a spot-on casting choice had never come to fruition before. Oddly enough, it turns out that the idea of casting Dafoe as the clown prince of crime has been had before by the guy who wrote the screenplay that would evolve into Tim Burton's Batman. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter in 2018, Dafoe recalled that Sam Hamm, who wrote the initial drafts of Batman, had talked him up for the role of the Joker, which of course eventually went to Jack Nicholson. Defoe recalled, Hamm said something about how physically I would be perfect for the part, but they never offered it to me. Perhaps inevitably though, Defoe got his chance to portray a cackling and hinged supervillain when he was cast as Norman Osborn's Green Goblin in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man in 2002, making his mark on one of the films that gave birth to the modern superhero genre.
We are who we choose to be. Now choose. Spider-Man.
Of course, he absolutely crushed the role. Although Raimi and screenwriter David Koepp made the same mistake Hamm and script doctor Warren Scarron had made with Batman, killing off the iconic villain in his very first appearance. Since then, Dafoe has dipped his toes into the superhero pool, so to speak, in 2018's Aquaman, in which he popped up as the titular character's friend and advisor, Volko. This would probably not preclude him from taking on the role of the Joker, as many fans have theorized that the Batman and his potential sequels will be set in a different universe than the main DC EU timeline. We would sure love for this bit of fan casting to come to fruition, and we hope the people in charge consider actually making the man an offer. Hey Warner Brothers, you have the power to make Bat fans the world over freak out just by giving the guy a call. How about it?
His fucking eyes, dude.
Cool. Your favorite movies and TV shows are coming soon.
I've heard the idea of Willem Dafoe being the Joker before. That's been like a popular fan casting choice for the Joker. There are times where I'm like really on board for it and times where I'm not, only because it just seems like, this might sound stupid, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It sounds like too obvious of a choice. Back then when Jack Nicholson was cast as the Joker, like that's an obvious choice, and it panned out great. And I feel like there's this sort of middle line that we look for now with specifically the character of the Joker, where we're like, we want someone that you could see doing it, but you wouldn't immediately imagine doing it.
Right.
That way there's a level of subversion, surprise, expectation. Because I feel like you kind of would know what you're getting into with Willem Dafoe as the Joker. Granted, though, I mean, he really does have the features and the characteristics. In a lot of ways, he's more obvious of a choice than Jack Nicholson actually is. Willem Dafoe is that actor who I wouldn't want to be friends with. he just genuinely creeps me out.
I don't want to get in a scaring contest with him.
If he was ever to be in a romantic comedy, I don't want to watch that.
Not mine.
It's like he's so great at the sinister, psychopathic, larger than life. I think being a Joker, he would be great, and I think the idea of him bouncing off of Robert Pattinson, that would be exciting because of their incredible work together in The Lighthouse. And it's funny, I actually just remembered Pattinson recently said that he's basing some of his voice for Batman. The inspiration for it came from what Willem Dafoe did in The Lighthouse.
Really?
So it kind of be with this interesting complementary. Yeah, he's a pirate.
That's okay.
I patrol the streets of Gotham. But yeah, man, what do you think?
It is a little obvious that he'd be the one that people want to be the Joker, and I think he'd be good. My only trepidation is the fact that he's a lot older than Robert Pattinson is, and I know Batman and Joker don't necessarily have to be like the same age, but I feel like they should at least be in like the same sort of age range, you know? Because if he's gonna play the Joker for years to come, you want him to still be able to do that and have that physicality, even if they go on for like another 10, 15 years. And granted, I don't know how old Willem Dafoe is, but I feel like he will not be able to bring that for like another like 20 years of films, which he might not necessarily have to.
I mean, that's right. That's why Joaquin Phoenix played a 20-year-old.
Perfectly age appropriate for that Batman.
So that way when Batman grows up, it makes sense.
As they were talking about this, I think someone who'd be interesting for the role of the Joker, which may be another, I guess, obvious choice, but I don't think a lot of people are talking about it, would be Jake Gyllenhaal. I think Gyllenhaal would make a really good Joker.
He's not as obvious of a choice, but you say that, you could easily see it.
Yeah. If you've seen stuff like Oncha or Nightcrawler, he definitely have that physicality, and he's plus a lot younger.
You've seen him transform into it's Jake Gyllenhaal, so it's hard to make him look unattractive, but we've seen him transform into like creepy looking dude, you know, in stuff like Nightcrawler. So I could see Jake Gyllenhaal being a good pick for it. I got a weird one.
Go for it.
Mark Maron. Just complaining Jewish Joker.
I got a great one.
Yeah.
Michael Cera.
Oh, God.
Michael Cera's
Joker. Shy neurotic.
Joker.
I did like the thought of having like a post-credit scene and seeing like revealing Willem Dafoe as the Joker. Like that does sound cool. And I feel like for a Batman franchise, you will need Joker in there at some point. I think it's really smart that they're not kicking this off with Joker in the Matt Reeves version, at least to what we know, that they're not kicking off with that. Maybe even waiting until like the third film to have Joker, I think would be a cool way to build and to also separate yourself from the Joaquin Phoenix one, because I'm not sure how well audiences around the world who don't really keep up with the conversation and movie news and all that are able to really pick up on what the hell's going on. Like, Joaquin Phoenix plays Joker, it's great, wins Oscars, makes $1 billion, and then there's a Birds of Prey movie, then they're clearly referencing the Jared Leto Joker. I don't know if everyone's like, oh yeah, obviously they're two different ones, you know? There's two different universes.
I feel like we gotta give people more credit than that. I feel like even if you're outside of the comic book world, you can still tell that dude in purple suit is not the dude with the blood smile.
We've also become accustomed to linking the universes and having everything being tied in. So I think if you have like another Joker so soon, and even 20, I'm thinking like you gotta wait till at least like 2022 at the minimum.
And especially if they're gonna bring in, with the amount of money that Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, has made, like he did it by himself, all on his back.
Tommy Wiseau with this movie.
With the amount of money that one's made, a sequel is probably inevitable, so I think they have to wait until that movie comes out, if that does even happen at all, for them to do another Joker. But I think with Matt Reeves' this sort of cast, the fact that they've cast these people that you wouldn't necessarily think of at first, but are talent nonetheless. I feel like if they were to cast a Joker, it would go sort of in that kind of vein. And Willem Dafoe doesn't necessarily fit that kind of mold. He's expected.
But then again, if he got the role, I'm sure he'd knock it out the park.
I wouldn't be mad if he got the role, but I don't think it would.
Although that photo.
That photo is gonna give me nightmares.
It's a pretty scary photo. That is. Yeah.
He's not coming to my birthday party.
Uninvite him now. Lie and tell him that it was canceled.
For those of you that are around in 2005, he's no longer in my Fave 5. For those who understand T-Mobile references. If not, that's okay.
They're talking about MySpace.
Yes, that too.
You know what MySpace is?
No. This is it, right? This is your space, right?
All right, guys. What do you think of Willem Dafoe as being the Joker? What is your pick? Leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the Reject Nation. Click that notification bell. Subscribe to Looper. Follow Aaron Alexander. And last but not least, Patron of the Day shout out! Austin Snyder. I don't know where John is. I'm sorry he's not in the video to improvise body language. But I got a cat here today who wants to get away. Oh, I just rhymed. You know what that means? It's a poem for a patron of the day. Turning and tossing as I'm thinking about new patron. His name is Austin. Got me acting all giddily, as his name literally means magic dignity. Now that's a name that's memorable, but the other meaning may be preferable, for it implies a great deal of respect. The word is venerable? I toast a glass of cider to a man more charming than Rob Schneider. His last name is Snyder. Hold on! I'm trying to shout him out all the way from Washington. As cute as Paddington. You're gonna stay right here as I shout out Austin. Career pursuits ignite my admiration. Hope you measure every word for effect. Definition, affectation. That's right, I looked it up. Passion is to be a teacher. He may be soft, but he's as lethal as Jack Reacher. I saw his profile pic. He should be a star in major motion features. Thanks for being here, Austin.